between Boaz and Gadsden, up toward Geraldine and Collinsville, you need to start taking, if you haven't already, you need to be taking your safety precaution right now, because this could be a possible tornado on the ground in this area. Nighttime tornadoes extremely dangerous. You just don't want to play around with this. You want to get to your safe place and stay there until the storm is past. Aniana, all clear for those folks. Still another line of storms coming behind that. That was a batch that did have a tornado warning. It's kind of fallen apart. So right now, the only tornado warning here in the northern half of Alabama is on this particular cell that's moving along I-59, pushing into DeKalb County. It may clip portions of Cherokee County. It's moving out of Etowah County. And so it's even clipping southern sections, southeastern sections of Marshall County. So Boaz, you're included in the warning. Albertville, you're right on the warning. You're actually, the city of Boaz is just outside the warning box there. And Crossville, Geraldine, Collinsville, you folks just need to stay weather alert. Portersville, this is all headed your way. Some pretty intense lightning. And of course, you folks had some severe storms earlier, but this one looks like it has the potential to be tornadic. So that's why we're continuing with you here on WAAY-31. I'm going to take a look at this again, see if I see anything. Yeah, still not seeing anything on this. How far up are we looking at on that? Let's see.
I think that's the elevation right there. It's about 5,000 feet.
So we're still looking at about 5,000 feet. So this is still fairly high up in the storm. I don't think Birmingham's close. Birmingham could be closer to that.
If we can.
Let's see. So what I will do is head over here and see if we can
load up the BMX data.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes me a while to...
We may only have the level 3 data.
Yeah, let's see. And I need to switch this.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. So
that was a pretty tight circulation, at least from afar.
Okay. And what we're looking at here, we're just kind of examining the storm. Still looks like it possibly has 92-mile-per-hour shear. Here's some of the areas that will be impacted: Hopper, Houghton, Egypt, Littleton, Norton, and Rockledge here in the next probably 10 minutes or so or less. Some of those areas are already being impacted right now. So be sure and take your tornado precautions if you're in any of these areas. Let me go back to the...
Look at this. Maybe we need to look at Fast Track, because you can see that right there. Has it on Viper.
That looks much more impressive. Hang on one second here.
Yeah, I'm going to switch over here to Fast Track, and that's what we're looking at there. We're both, if you want to look at that BTI on the Viper, and see what we're looking at there.
It's not showing.
We're looking up to 92 miles per hour of shear, though, that our system is suggesting. So it looks like this situation might be getting a little bit worse as this storm tries to wrap itself up over the western portion of Etowah County. Again, we're going to be watching that closely. You can see right there, I'll telestrate over here on the Fast Track computer, can clearly see there's been a tightening of the circulation about 15 miles to the west of Gadsden. This should miss Gadsden to the north and maybe Boaz to the south, so it's going to kind of ride the northwestern part there of Etowah County, again moving off towards the north and east at about 40 miles per hour. We are continuing to monitor the reports coming in from the National Weather Service in Huntsville. They are saying that they are continuing to watch an area of developing rotation about 5 miles southeast of Bluntsville. I guess this is going to be back in Blount County a little bit. This is to the northwest of the storm that is currently prompted the warning. So we'll see what they do there, but looks like we might be looking at another area of rotation trying to develop in Bluntsville. But if you want to pop that back up, Spencer, I think that's a good track there as well on the Viper. I'll switch it back over. And you can clearly see there we've got 92 miles per hour of shear, and Hamilton in the next 3 minutes. I need you to be in your safe place right now. Ivory, Egypt, Littleton, Norton, Rockledge, all these communities in the far northwestern section of Etowah County. Again, we're also watching the far southeastern part of Marshall County, because sometimes these can turn to the left, sometimes they can turn to the right. So again, we have to account for that possibility. And southeastern Marshall County and southern DeKalb County remain under that tornado warning, Spencer.
Yeah, and it looks like the latest scan there, when I looked at that, let me go back to it. Latest scan, it kind of weakened that velocity a little bit. Let me see, we'll go back. Yeah, that's much weaker than that previous scan on Viper. Let me see, Fast Track has
So we're on Huntsville with,
okay,
we're high top.
So let's switch over, let's go ahead and switch back here, and okay, yeah, there's still a pretty good,
yeah, right there.
Yep.
There's a BTI of 5.6.
So here's the areas right now that we're looking at, and I'm going to label a couple of these here that are in the path, and so there's some of the areas we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and let Isaac kind of point out what we're seeing here.
Right, Spencer. So Gallant here, Hopper. This is over the far western section of Etowah County. This is going to continue moving off towards the north and to the east here. Hamilton in 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes to get to your safe place. We're looking at Aurora, Egypt, Littleton, Rockledge, Carlisle, Mountain Borough, Maryville, Cave Springs. Again, all of these communities are in the northwestern portion of Etowah County. Again, the shear is about 80 miles per hour. So again, this rotation is certainly tightened up over the last couple of scans. BTI is a 5.6. That is a bearing threat detection we use here at the station, and it's on a scale from 0 to 10 rather. So anytime we see numbers over 4 or 5, we start to get concerned. Now we've seen numbers higher than this, but again, this certainly gets our attention. And again, we're going to have to watch this storm continue to move off towards the north and to the east. Again, this is going to be missing Gadsden to the north. If you live in Gadsden, this will not impact you. And if you live in Boaz, I can't rule it out. You can see if this continues on the northwestern trajectory, northeastern trajectory here, Boaz, you might be on the northern side, could see some large hail. So again, just to be on the safe side, I'd go ahead and go to my safe place there in Boaz as well in southeastern Marshall County. Again, we're going to watch and see what the Weather Service is going to do here with the warning in Marshall County, because it looks like most of the activity is going to stay in Etowah County, but again, we can't rule that out. Let's go in for a little bit of a tighter look, Spencer, a little bit off to the west here. Let's take this full here. You can see, maybe query that pixel there to see what the winds are doing, because again, we have seen this increase over the last several scans. Again, still staying pretty tight, but again, like we talked about, I just mentioned that sometimes these veer to the right, that sometimes they veer to the left. This one may be veering to the left, folks. So if you live in Hamilton, Egypt, Aurora, Skyhaven Estates, Carlisle, Hopper, Sardis City. Again, Boaz right here. You definitely, I think I'd go ahead and go to a safe place there as well. Again, this is going to be continuing to move off towards the north and to the east. Duck Springs Elementary School, kind of out here in the northeastern portion of Etowah County. I probably, if you would live in those areas as well, I'd probably go ahead and go to my safe place. In addition, let's switch back to reflectivity, see what the signature is going to look like there. I would imagine that the velocity is probably the better product to look. We can go ahead and look here and see. You can clearly see a good little inflow notch right here in the western portions of Etowah County there. This is going to be south of Boaz. Again, slowly moving towards the north and to the east. The storm motions have slowed just a little bit, increasing the threat of some flooding. It's pouring down rain here again at the top of Mount Tisano here in Huntsville. Again, tornado warning continues for southeastern Marshall County, southwestern DeKalb County, and northwestern Etowah County. We're kind of conferencing in between the two weather services, because Etowah County falls within the Birmingham Weather Service market office, and then Marshall and DeKalb County belong to us. So again, we're going to continue to watch this storm move off towards the north and east. And Spencer, have we heard anything else from Huntsville? Are they updating anything about the warning information?
Looks like structure damage on Dow Drive in Aniana area with possible injuries. Emergency crews are en route to that.
Okay.
And again, and it looks like, let's see, We've still got the tornado warning that goes until 12:30. Again, this tornado moving 35 miles per hour. And they said they're carefully watching the developing rotation 5 miles northeast of Bluntsville. So they're still watching this. Again, and what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to switch over here real quick to fast track and and just show a couple of things that I'm looking at there. Again, you folks there in portions of southern DeKalb County, Geraldine, you need to pay attention to this storm. It's heading your way here in the next, say, 30 minutes or so. BTI is up to 5.6 right now, so we're at 5.6. That's halfway to the high end of the scale at 10, so we'll have to watch for the potential there. The hail threat's not very high with this, at least severe hail, but there could be some small hail, some pea-sized hail within this. Notice the cluster of lightning right around that area of rotation. That's south of Boaz, just south of Boaz. And again, it's tracking off to the north and to the east, just southeast of Douglas. You folks there in Douglas, Boaz, I hope you're taking your storm precautions right now. This is going to just miss Albertville. It's going to move into portions of southern DeKalb County. And again, it's mainly been in Etowah County so far. So this is remaining in Etowah County, but Boaz is right on the edge, and eventually this entire storm will move into southern DeKalb County and may clip portions of Cherokee County as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, the core of the rotation and also the core of the lightning is pushing due northeast, and if it stays on this track, it would take it just to the south and east of Crossville. So again, we're going to watch this area. Also seeing some rotation. There's a couple different areas of rotation here. The strongest one showing up down here, but again, we're looking at some broad areas of rotation. Here's the roads that we're about to see this rotation pass over. Again, of course, Highway 431 coming out of Boaz. Also, State Highway 179. So this is going to pass, now passing over US 278 and then passing over Highway 179. So if you live in these areas, you need to be in your safe place. If you're on US Highway 431, a lot of folks travel that coming from Boaz down toward Gadsden. Again, you need to be in your shelter right now. There's a lot of folks that live along a lot of these highways, and you certainly need to go ahead with your safety precautions during a tornado. And again, the rotation is remaining fairly significant with this, at least as far, it doesn't seem to be weakening a whole lot. Again, the BTI, we've seen BTIs with 4.4 and some pretty intense rotation with these. So this one's a 5.6, so we can't rule out the potential for, again, a tornado with this storm as it pushes into southern DeKalb County. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't, as it moves, and it's moving pretty slow at 35 miles per hour, I would not be surprised if this does not strengthen when it gets into DeKalb County. And that's why I want the folks up there in DeKalb County pay attention to this storm. Even though you may not be under the warning, you will certainly want to be prepared as it moves in. The good news is these storms are not moving as fast as some of those do. In fact, it's about half of what we typically see some of these storms move. Sometimes these storms are moving at 65 miles per hour. This one's moving at 35 miles per hour, so it's giving you ample time to seek shelter if you're well ahead of the storm. Now, if the storm's right on top of you like it is in Boaz, you need to go ahead and find your safe place if you haven't already. And if you're along I-59 heading up toward Crossville, you need to be preparing as this storm comes into your area as well. It's going to pass just to the northwest of Gadsden. And again, the rotation still looking fairly significant on radar.
That's right, Spencer. Again, circulation is definitely tightened here over the last several scans, not seeming to be weakening. And when we see that increase in lightning like that, you might have to wonder if something is happening there again. So if you can hear us or watching us in northern Etowah County, north of Gadsden, you need to be in your safe place right now. Boaz, I would continue to remain in my safe place as well. I know we told you to go there about 15 minutes ago or so, but again, the storm is not moving all that fast. Again, we're going to have to watch it closely because I also have, I was seeing a report earlier in the Birmingham chat that emergency officials are on scene, US 231 and County Road 20. I do believe that is near the Aniana community. Structural damage and possible entrapment. Again, so that is a pretty serious situation over the Aniana community. Now, they have been since cleared from the tornado threat here, but this is the same storm that produced that type of damage now that is tracking into northern Etowah County and could be clipping far southeastern Marshall County as well as far southern DeKalb County and maybe even northwestern portions of Cherokee County as well. Again, we have a tornado warning in place for DeKalb County, southwestern DeKalb County, and southeastern Marshall County. That goes until 12:30 this morning. We're also looking at a tornado warning continuing for Etowah County until 12:30. And the Birmingham Weather Service office indicating a tornado near Walnut Grove, or 13 miles west of Rainbow City, moving northeast at only 25 miles per hour. So again, that storm motion continuing to be slowing up. And again, we're watching to see if any more reports come in on social media or from the newsroom or from the Weather Service chats here, and we're not seeing anything just yet. And again, this warning for all of these counties I just mentioned, so southeast Marshall, southern DeKalb, northwestern Etowah, go until 12:30, so about another 14 minutes. And you can see that the circulation continuing to remain strong here. And if you live, I'm going to highlight these roads again here, and if you live along Highway 179 or Highway 205 there in northern Etowah County, you want to go ahead and go to your safe place if you live in and around those communities, because there's a pretty decent chance that a possible tornado might be passing over those types of communities there. I'll check the debris here. Again, not seeing any debris signatures, so that is some good news. But again, we can't ignore the circulation because, again, that's a pretty significant circulation here, passing about 7 miles northwest of Gadsden. Again, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. If we zoom things out just a hair, we can see that most of this circulation looks like it's going to pass to the southeast of Marshall County. But I'm not real ready to give an all clear just yet because there could be other smaller areas of rotation off of this parent thunderstorm. So again, I think that the Weather Service keeping that tornado warning in place for another 10 minutes is a good call. Into southern DeKalb County, this storm continues, and it looks like, I think, Spencer, look at there, I think it wrapped up again here.
Yep.
As we head into the northern portions of DeKalb County, let's query these winds and see what they're doing. We've got 64 going towards and 50 going away. So we're looking at maybe over 100 miles an hour of shear here. So, and also our Viper threat detection looks like we have if we can switch over to that Viper, we got a BTI of 8.1.
Okay, so this is starting to look, let's see if we can look at if there's any kind of debris signature on this, because I think we may see something develop finally on that debris signature. No, not yet.
Not yet.
But again, 8.1, that's pretty significant tonight. We have not seen 8.1, but only a couple of times, really, and those were with some pretty large tornadoes that were on the ground. And again, folks, I always get concerned with parts of DeKalb County when we're talking about these storms. Again, he's been tracking these storms, Isaac has, and here's all the areas of impact here in the next few minutes. And we're talking, again, Rockledge, Mountain Borough, Whitesboro, Liberty, Duck Springs, Rodentown. All you folks need to take tornado precautions right now. You need to be in your safe place, center of your home. You need to be in the center hallway or bathroom, away from windows, basement, in your storm shelter. If you have a bike helmet, if you have kids or you have little ones, not a bad idea to put a little helmet on just in case. This is even worse than what it looks like on radar. Right now, it looks fairly significant on radar. This is going to pass just to the south of Boaz. You folks very close there in Boaz to this potential tornado. Lightning seems to be increasing in intensity as well. In fact, would you pull up the lightning counter on there? I'd like to see.
Yes.
We can kind of watch that and track. And so right now we have 164 strikes. That's just with this one little cell. So that's pretty significant. Keep in mind earlier with some big cells we had over 1,000, but those were very big and large and covered a large area. So this is a fairly significant amount. So we're going to watch that lightning counter to see if it goes up or goes down, because sometimes that's a good indication of what the tornado may do as well. But the wind here is certainly looking significant. Again, shear showing up right now at about 80 miles per hour. When we toggled that, it actually showed up a little bit more. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Let's show the inbound and outbound winds and what we're looking at. Again, here's some of the areas that it's moving through right now. Carlisle, Skyhaven Estates, you're in line, Whitesboro. And again, we're looking at 62 mile per hour inbound versus 38 mile per hour outbound. So here's the rotation. The rotation's doing this. It's basically rotating, and as it rotates, it's going to continue to track northeast toward the cities of Sardis City, Whitesboro, Duck Springs, and again, it's knocking on the door right now in Rockledge, and this is going to basically miss, like Isaac said, this will probably miss most of southern Marshall County. Boaz, you're going to get some of the wind on the northern side of this storm, but you can watch it in the time lapse. Watch it kind of wind up here. So it was trying to hold together, kind of fell apart for a minute. It redeveloped, and now this is the strongest, really the strongest sign we've seen since this storm developed a little bit ago. So, or since it redeveloped, I guess I should say. Let's take the laps off. Let's continue to watch that BTI, continue to watch the lightning counter. And again, we're looking at 8.1 on the BTI, and there's a new track right there. And let's see if we can click on that one.
This one?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. And see how it pops up? It pops up another one there. I don't know if we can...
Right, I guess it's querying both of them, or there. Okay. See, it's popping up both when I click it.
Okay. So we'll keep an eye on that. But again, it actually upped the shear to 92 now. So, and there's the latest scan. The latest scan takes it now. Still looks pretty healthy. Again, let's zoom back in. It's right on top of Carlisle. I hope you're taking your tornado precautions right now. Whitesboro, hopefully you're in your safe place. Also Sardis City. Duck Springs Elementary School, this is going to come very close to Duck Springs Elementary. This is staying south of Boaz, and again, pushing north and east into parts of southern DeKalb County. Collinsville, you're not too far away from this. This is actually going to come very close to the city of Collinsville. So if you're in Collinsville, there along I-59, to folks to be prepared. You're not in the warning right now, but this warning may be extended by the National Weather Service office here in Huntsville into Collinsville. So parts of southern DeKalb County, you could be under the gun here shortly in that area of DeKalb County at least. And again, Albertville, I think I can probably give you the all clear. The storm system is just to your south, and it's continuing. It looks like it will just clip. It could. Geraldine, we'll have to pay attention there to this storm as well. But again, still looking pretty significant on the. Let's look at the reflectivity real quick and see what we're seeing there. And
there
again, yeah. And it just looks like a big cluster of storms, really. No true sign there of a tornado, but again, a lot of these have been rain wrapped this evening, so we're not, we can't really base it just on the reflectivity, and that's why we have so many things we can look at. Let's take a look at the debris signature. It's what we call the correlation coefficient. This is kind of one of the new variables of dual pole radar, the newest, and again, not showing a whole lot there at this time. So yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this circulation. Let's go ahead and query it one more time and see if we can 67, yeah, 25, yeah. So
still about 80 to 90.
Yeah, still about 80 to 90. So not the worst we've seen, but certainly nothing to scoff at. So we're going to hang on to this tornado warning. And again, the tornado warning goes until what, 12:30. So any word, have they said yet whether they plan to extend this warning?
They have not. Obviously waiting a confirmation from that. The Birmingham Weather Service Office has just reissued the tornado warning for Etowah County until 1:15.
Okay.
Okay, so, and that's going to be until 1:15, but again, as this storm continues to move off towards the north and east, we're going to have to see whether or not Huntsville follows suit with southern DeKalb County.
Okay. So what we're looking at here is, let's switch over to Fast Track. Sometimes it's easier to get a little bit better view of the counties there and give folks a better idea. And let's zoom out just a little bit on Fast Track. And there we go. Okay, and then there you go, perfect. What we're looking at, so here's DeKalb County. DeKalb County, here's the county line, the eastern county line. Here's the western, northwestern county line. It comes down through here. So that's DeKalb County. We're talking this area, yeah. So we're basically what Isaac's doing is outlining it. So Geraldine's here. Again, we have Collinsville down here, and then Fort Payne is further up into eastern DeKalb County. This storm is basically going to cover up the whole southern half of DeKalb County as it moves in. The rotation will be just along the, probably along the extreme southeastern sections of DeKalb County here, moving over I-59 and then pushing into eastern DeKalb County. So Fort Payne, this could very well come near you or just to your east. Let's take a look at that. Click on one of those and let's make sure we're not seeing any changes here. Okay, so there's a good, let's do that storm track, pull that storm track down, and we'll give you an idea of some of the areas. Again, we're looking at Crossville, 8 minutes, Geraldine, 10 minutes, Portersville, 16 minutes. If you're in Fife, 18 minutes, Colburn in 20 minutes, Rainsville, 22. We actually have a camera over there in Rainsville that we use, the folks there let us use at the Northeast Alabama Community College, so we'll keep an eye on that. Fort Payne, 25 minutes. That's if this rotation holds together, and it looks pretty significant right now. So let's take that off, and then let's click on, and it looks like these are both storm tracks. Okay, yeah. And so what we'll do then is we shall...
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. So this is the area right along I-59. Still a huge cluster of lightning, still pretty intense rotation with this. In fact, it looks like it's kind of wrapping around a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Let's query those winds and see what
see what we're looking at. That's still pretty significant. So let's look at the, on Fast Track, let's look at the debris real quick and see what we're seeing out there.
Okay.
On the debris signature, because we want to make sure. Yeah,
still nothing.
Still not anything. So that's good news. That's certainly good news for you folks there in DeKalb County. Now, that doesn't mean there's still not a possible tornado on the ground. It just means that if there is a tornado, it's not tossing debris up in the air. It could be a weak tornado, could be going over an area that there's just not a lot of debris there or anything in the path to kick up. But certainly we want to pay attention to it. Albertville, this is staying to your south. Boaz, Crossville, you're kind of in the core of the heaviest rain, maybe some small hail, maybe, and of course, some very intense lightning there as it pushes off to the east. He's looking at the, now we're looking actually at the Barron button there, and it's showing 70-mile-per-hour winds and pea-sized hail. So this is basically, this actually tells us the size of the hail and the amount of wind. So even if we don't have a tornado there, we still could see 60 to 70-mile-per-hour wind, which can do some damage. It can bring down some trees. It can also peel off some shingles sometimes, or do some minor damage, minor structural damage, but nothing major. But certainly you don't want to be around or outside when there's a 60 or 70-mile-per-hour wind. So there's certainly some intense wind with this as it's pushing toward I-59. Again, pretty slow mover. We've been talking about this quite a while, and it really hasn't moved all that much. It's so whatever it's doing it in the same place for quite a long time, and that's not always good news. Take a look at some of these roads real quick. We're talking about Sand Valley Road that's being impacted. We're also talking about Horton Gap Road, Cox Gap Road, Leith Gap Road. So all of these are roads in the area that is being impacted as it continues to push to the northeast. Wisenat Road, Barksdale Road.
It's like Horton Gap Road there.
Yeah, that's Horton Gap. and Unity Church. And so these are some of the areas. Again, we're still watching and waiting for any reports. We haven't had any reports that have come in so far of a confirmed tornado with that. That's certainly good. But it's nighttime. A lot of folks can't see. A lot of folks taking shelter right now. I'm going to check a couple of things here on social media and see if we're seeing anything, and also on the chat.
Okay, and let me just zoom out here on Fast Track a moment here. Looks like, check out this circulation, Spencer. We'll have to watch this one. We've got another one coming into Blount County right here, into the southwestern portion of Blount County. And so the Weather Service in Birmingham has gone ahead and issued a tornado warning for that storm.
So that's right behind this storm, which means you folks may be going through this all again in a similar area at this time.
Exactly. But right now, you know, our focus is still on this storm here in Etowah County, which does not seem to be weakening at all. In fact, it's maintaining its circulation here, and our Viper threat detection here, I'm looking at it on the other computer, maintains a BTI of 7.8. So again, that is pretty stout. Again, we just got another update, 7.9, and it's suggesting Whitesboro within 5 minutes, Smith Institute within 8 minutes, and 11 minutes in Liberty. So again, this is going to be continuing to move towards the north and to the east, and towards southern DeKalb County. Now, I don't see that DeKalb County is under a warning anymore, but I would imagine if that circulation continues there for the next several minutes, they're probably going to have to issue a tornado warning for southern DeKalb County. So again, we're going to be watching that closely. Again, we haven't heard anything else from the National Weather Service with respect to what they're going to do here, but I would imagine, again, with the circulation that looks like that, I would be shocked if they did not extend that tornado warning into DeKalb County based on the atmospheric conditions we're continuing to see tonight. Even though we've lost, the source of daytime heating, we still got a lot.
Right.
Okay, here it comes right
tornado
here.
Warning, DeKalb County.
And this is a confirmed.
Looks like, just Doppler radar showed this tornado moving east. So this is Doppler radar indicated.
Okay.
Unless...
yeah, this one says it was radar was tracking a confirmed tornado near Sardis City.
All right.
It's just a little bit southeast of
No,
Boaz.
they're not saying there's a spotter indicated.
Right.
So it's
a little bit of...
Yeah. Either way, this is a tornado warning for DeKalb County. We figured they would...
1.
Yep, 1 a.m. So here we go, another 30 minutes. We're staying with you here on live on WAAY-31. We've been tracking storms for what I think close to 8 or 9 hours now.
At least.
I think I've lost track. 8 or 9 hours, but we're sticking with you folks here in DeKalb County. We know that you are wanting to make sure you stay safe, and we want to make sure you stay safe until the storms have passed. And this storm still has signs of rotation, and it's tracking now into southern DeKalb County, and it's basically taking the exact track that we talked about earlier. And some of the areas that are going to be impacted here, this is what we're talking about as far as cities: Collinsville, Crossville, Rodentown, Lebanon, and Arona. So if you live in any of those areas, please take your tornado precautions immediately. Again, tornadoes are extremely difficult to see at night, and so don't wait to see or hear it. Just go ahead and take cover now. Again, this is southwestern DeKalb County until 1 a.m. So still seeing signs of rotation. Again, the BTI is still fairly high on this storm, indicating that there is still the potential. Now there is, I noticed the Weather Service folks were talking about how this storm may have more of a upper level circulation, just not sure if it's reaching the ground. And again, I kind of tend to agree, because we're not getting any reports so far, any spotter reports. And again, there may not be any spotters in the area. This may just be too much of a rural location.
Right.
But either way, and of course the terrain is pretty mountainous in some of these areas in DeKalb County, so we just have to watch this system as it moves northeast. It's going to cross State Highway 227, and it looks like State Highway 68. So that's just west of I-59, and we'll continue to track across, probably parallel it, cross I-59, and then push just to the east of Fort Payne if it holds together. So you folks there in parts of DeKalb County, just hang tight with us. Go to your safe place. Turn your television up. We'll continue to monitor the storm and let you know what's going on as it pushes off to the east. But again, that's the area we're looking at. I'm actually going to switch over to Viper real quick. And we're going to zoom in a little tighter on this storm. BTI is still 7.9, so it is still hanging in there. Let's see if we can, let's get some of these roads on here. So there's Leaf Gap Road. It's passing over right now. Brow Road is one of the roads that's moving over as well. I'll zoom in, go a little further up.
Okay, we have a sheriff's office reporting a confirmed tornado near Arony, A-R-O-N-E-Y.
Arony, okay. I think we pronounced it Arona. Let's see. So
yeah, that there was a, I don't know where that piece of paper went. Oh, here it is, right here. Yeah, we have it Arona with an A, and they spelled it N-E-Y in the chat. So, nonetheless, we might be looking and look. I think it tightened up right there. Do you see that?
Yep. All right. So this is right over Owens Road. This is heading toward County Road 455, County Road 25, County Road 380, County Road 17, and County Road 4. That's just some of the roads in the path of this storm. Again, if you're in this area, and let me circle it so you get a better idea of southern DeKalb County. If you're up with us late tonight, we're tracking a possible tornado in southern DeKalb County. It's moving to the north and to the east. And again, it's showing signs of possible rotation, and now we're seeing a confirmed report of a tornado on the ground. And that
we got a signature now.
There we go. Okay, so now there it is. Let's switch over to fast track. And
okay, we're tracking a large and extremely dangerous tornado.
Okay, so you folks there, and let's give these folks warning as much as possible ahead of this storm. Okay, possible tornado. Here's the debris signature. This is what we look for. This is what helps us at night know that there's a possible tornado there on the ground. This is south and east of Kilpatrick, and again, it's tracking north and east. Here's Crossville. Crossville, you're going to be very close to this. I want you to go into your safe place right now. If you live along State Route 22, if you live
227
or 227, I'm sorry.
The 7 got covered up.
Yeah, 227. If you live along State Route 227, this is actually going to pass right over you. So take your tornado precautions now. If you have a basement, you need to be in that basement. If you have a storm shelter, head to the storm shelter. If you don't have either one of those, I want you to go to an interior room, a bathroom, an interior hallway, room that's a closet, as far away from windows, center of the home, bottom level, and I want you to put a mattress over you if you can in those areas, because we have debris now being shown on radar. That means that this storm is picking something up and lifting it into the air, whether it's trees, power lines, we don't know, or buildings. We don't know what is going on here, but we do know that there's a possible tornado on the ground. Tornado emergency now at 12:45 a.m. Tornado emergency for southern DeKalb County. So you folks there in southern DeKalb County, just west of I-59, you're under the gun here. This is making a beeline right now for Portersville. Portersville, I want you to go ahead and take your tornado precautions. Hopefully, this will weaken before it gets there. Again, 10 minutes. Crossville, you're on the northern end of this. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit, and we may want to switch over to Viper and just start labeling some of the towns and streets. But again, we'll keep an eye on this. That's definitely a signature of a potential debris signature there. It's County Road 8. This is going to come very close to County Road 8. There's Crossville, and this is a pretty rural area, so I don't know how much it's going to pick up on, but here's some of the areas of impact. Here's some of the highways that we're talking about. Little Sand Valley Road, County Road 4, County Road 17, County Road 26 and 25, Old Georgia Road right on top of you right now. Again, these are all of the highways and county roads that will be impacted by this possible tornado on the ground. Tornado emergency for these areas. Please take shelter now if you can. Again, I don't want to scare folks, but I want you to be prepared. Don't panic. There's no need to worry at this time. If you just follow what you're supposed to do in this situation, we'll try to help you stay as safe as possible. And again, we're looking at this area between Collinsville and Crossville. This is actually going to pass just now to the east of Crossville and to the west of Collinsville. Again, it's going to make a path just like this and continue off to the north and to the east. The BTI right now is sitting at 7.6. That's pretty significant. So we'll continue to watch that. Let's see if we can zoom in and just right-click on some of the cities here where we're seeing this go.
I'll push back to the debris signature, yeah. And then, also, right as I'm querying these cities, our producer just came in here and told us that the Etowah County EMA's ability to activate their sirens has been deactivated right now because they are without power. Okay, so if you are relying on tornado sirens in Etowah County, you are not going to hear them if Etowah County comes back under a tornado warning. Okay, so don't rely on the sirens, and those are, you know, while the sirens are good for folks working outdoors and stuff, you really need to... It's shifted northeast here. Oh, yeah, there it is. That's definitely a debris signature that's coming close to County Road 8, up toward County Road 227. And again, there we go, this is headed toward Dawson. If you're in Dawson, take your tornado precautions. Rodentown right on top of you right now. I hope you're taking your tornado safety precautions there. Find your safe place if you're in Crossville. This is coming very close to you. There's the debris signature. Let's switch over to velocity there, just so we can kind of track the velocity on this, see what it's doing as well. Okay, so right there, yeah, matches up perfectly. And is there any other communities in this area that we can point to? There may not be. So we can try to highlight them here. Let's see, County Road. Is that 221? Yeah, that's 221. So this is going right up County Road 221. You folks there need to go ahead and take your tornado precautions. Here's just to the east here is Collinsville. So here's Collinsville. Crossville is here, and this is going directly in between. This is, I believe, I-59 right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, we're talking I-59, and this is County Highway, is that 51? 51. Yeah, zoom in just a little bit. All right. I can see it just a little bit better. So yeah, that's County Highway 51, and here's 221. So basically, directly in between Crossville and Collinsville, you folks that live anywhere in between this area, you need to go ahead and take your tornado precautions right now. Go to your safe place right now. If you haven't already, if you're listening to us, turn the television up and just sit tight until we can give you the all clear. But right now, we still think that this is a possible tornado on the ground that is pushing into your area. We're getting some heavy rain here at the station, so you may hear that on the air. But again, we don't have anything severe here in Huntsville. Let's actually turn over to the reflectivity and kind of zoom out, make sure we're not missing any other storms. Okay. And while we do that, the Weather Service in Birmingham commenting that the high top radar is showing upwards of 150 knots of gate-to-gate shear on this storm. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely a tornado likely on the ground, and there's another round of storms behind it. There's a pretty big batch of storms moving over the city of Huntsville right now. So but these folks, are not severe. Yeah, these are not severe. We'll keep an eye on those, but right now, no severe weather here in Huntsville. Again, that's what we're looking at. Is this storm? We're focusing on the storm there, and then the other storm in Aniana. That one looks pretty impressive too. So we may unfortunately have areas hit twice by two different storms here, and I'm going to check something real quick. As you can hear the very heavy rain here on the station right now.
Yeah, right on top of us, and so we're still here with you on WAAY-31, tracking this possible tornado. Again, in areas of southern DeKalb County. That's southern DeKalb County, and what we're expecting out of this storm is the potential for a large tornado between Collinsville and Crossville. And the BTI right now, our BTI index, 7.5. Here's some of the areas, and that's out of 10, so that's a pretty high number.
Right.
Again, looking at Fairview, Copeland Bridge, Portersville, Peaks Corner, Horton, Lebanon, Killen Mill, Colburn, Pleasant Hill. These are all areas that are going to be impacted here in the next 10 minutes or so. The 3 tornado warnings continue in Alabama for really this storm, another storm just to the east of Aniana, and another piece of a tornado warning just north of Gadsden.
Right, that's for that storm that's now crossing into DeKalb County.
Yeah, so really we're the only storms on the board there. Also, I notice as I zoom out and look around, tornado warning up toward Knoxville, Tennessee as well. So still some active storms out there tonight across the southeast, but this storm in particular here in DeKalb County looks pretty impressive, and you folks need to go ahead and be taking those tornado precautions in the majority of the southern half of DeKalb County. And again, just looking at some posts here on Facebook and Twitter, trying to see if I'm getting any reports in from these folks. And again, I'm not seeing any reports so far of damage, but if you have reports of damage, please pass those along, or if you have reports of what's going on with these storms, that will help us warn people down the road. And so you can send those to weather@waaytv.com, or you can find us, just look us up on Facebook and Twitter by name, and you can find us there. And we'll certainly take those.
Yeah, the latest velocity scan here looks like the entire storm is rotating. The circulation might not be quite as tight, but again, that's very suspicious, and we may be seeing a situation where the storm is reorganizing, and the Weather Service is suggesting this as well, that they are saying that this is a cyclic supercell. So basically what that means is that it can pulse up, it can pulse down. We've seen this all afternoon and all evening, but they suggested a new circulation might be forming closer to I-59 there in southeastern DeKalb County. So again, we're going to have to watch this very carefully, but again, our fast track radar, I'll actually put that up on the Viper radar as well. The correlation coefficient still at a minimum here just to the southeast of Crossville. So again, I want to point out here just to the southeast of Crossville back towards Collinsville. Again, this is the area that we're most concerned about here in southern DeKalb County. Again, this is going to be shifting off towards the north and to the east here as well. Collinsville, you've got to be in your safe place right now, as well as Crossville, as well into the rural southeastern portions there of DeKalb County. This storm has now cleared northern Etowah County again, but the tornado warning continues for DeKalb County at least until 1 a.m., so about another 10 minutes. But as this storm kind of reorganizes and continues to move off towards the north and east, we might see this warning extended past 1 o'clock. We're going to have to wait and see. And then we also have that storm in Blount County as well that we're going to continue to monitor here. But I just wanted to point that debris signature out. It continues to show up here on our radar, and that just means that possible debris has been lofted into the air by a potential tornado that could be relatively large. And again, that's going to be continuing to move towards the north and east. This is now just to the east of Rodentown, but if you're in Rodentown, I want you to stay sheltered. And I also want you to be in your safe place in Crossville and in Collinsville as well. I'm going to put some roads on here for you just to give you some more vantage point here. State Highway 68, I know we've called that out before. County Highway 51 that runs back into Highway 68 near the Collinsville community. Nobody should be traveling on Highway 68 or County Highway 51 for about the next 20 to 30 minutes here. And it looks like from the Emergency Management Agency here, that we have confirmed structural damage with residents trapped in their storm shelter on County Road 4 in Netteroni. So again, I think that Spencer may be back in northwestern Etowah County or maybe far southwestern DeKalb County. We'll try to get more confirmation on that. But nonetheless, this continues to be a very serious situation as it moves off towards the north and east, not really showing any signs of weakening, unfortunately. So we're going to have to continue to keep our guard up here as it moves out of southern DeKalb County into the southeastern portions of DeKalb County here. I want to take you for a little bit of a closer look here and plot some additional roads. County Road 8. Right now, if you live near County Road 8, you have to be sheltered. County Road 221, you need to be in your safe place as well. And then as we can look here at some other roads, County Road 12, Union Grove Road, County Road 37. All of these areas just to the southeast of Crossville and in the city of Crossville, you've got to be in your safe place again, at least for the next 15 to 20 minutes. This storm, again, Spencer, as you walk back over there, continue to point things out on the weather wall as not really showing any signs of letting up.
No, it isn't. This is definitely a tornado emergency for you folks, and we're getting reports now of damage there. And of course, when you start to get reports of people trapped in their storm shelters, that means two things. That means the good news is those folks went to their storm shelter before the storm arrived, so hopefully we can get reports of them getting out of the storm shelter. But again, late at night, in the middle of the night, we're talking about lots of lightning, heavy rain, and damaging winds, and now with the potential for this damaging tornado, makes it very hard to see or do anything. So these folks here in DeKalb County need to certainly be on the alert. Dawson, let's zoom out of this.
Okay.
And switch back over to velocity. Let's get a better view of this storm and see how it's progressing, because we're starting to see. Okay, so we're still seeing a large area of rotation there, pushing northeast. Again, if you're in Portersville, Collinsville, you need to be taking shelter right now if you haven't already. Lots of lightning. Geraldine, you're just on the northern edge of this storm. Fife, I had some requests from the folks in Fife on Facebook and Twitter. Looks like this storm is going to pass just to your south and east. Also, as it continues to track south and east, and you can see right there.
Yep, right there.
There it is. That's what we call a beware, or a bounded weak echo region, and so that's a good indication when we see that there's likely a tornado there. So again, we'll watch this storm as it pushes northeast toward Portersville. So you folks there along I-59, and unfortunately, I'm sure there's a lot of cars unaware maybe that there's a severe potential tonight driving down I-59. And if you're driving down I-59, those folks driving certainly need to try to pull over if they're hearing any weather reports on the radio there as they're driving down, and try to seek shelter, because this storm has a history of producing damage, and there's one right behind it. Also,
yeah, they also just issued another tornado warning for Etowah County until 1:45.
Yeah, that's that storm that again still looks pretty impressive on radar. This is all the initial part of this first storm. So we'll call this storm number 1, storm number 2. Storm number 1 here in Geraldine, Collinsville, and Fort Payne. This is moving into Fort Payne now. Here's the circulation. This is going to come very close to the city of Fort Payne. So if you're in Fort Payne, you need to go ahead and start thinking about taking your tornado precautions. BTI is still showing 7.4, so that's good indication of a possible tornado on the ground. I tell you folks, this is really the most dangerous type of situation. We're in the middle of the night, approaching 1 o'clock in the morning. A lot of folks go to bed. They don't think that this tornado may not hit my house. If you don't have a NOAA weather radio, you don't know to wake up, because there's no other way to alert folks other than a weather radio this time of the night to get up, get out of bed, and seek shelter. So if you have family or friends in these areas, you need to be calling your family or friends, telling them to go ahead and get up, get out of bed, and go to their safe spot, wherever they may be, at their house or wherever they're staying, and be sure and do that there in Portersville, Fort Payne, Fife, and Collinsville. All these areas will be under the gun. Fort Payne, you're not in a tornado warning yet. And I say yet because I think you're going to be included in this next warning. Let's put a lapse on this, and I can get a better idea of what the track looks like with this particular storm.
We'll put that into motion. So it kind of looks like it may be reorganizing.
Okay, so
let's
it's
kind of watch
basically
this.
it's basically pushing. I mean, that line, that one line takes it right into Fort Payne, and I think that's exactly where it's headed.
Yeah, but see, on the very latest scan, it looks like we may have two. See, we might have two circulations maybe starting to evolve here.
Yep, you're right.
So I would just say maybe just broad brush the entire south and east portion of DeKalb County.
Yeah, that's we could have multiple tornadoes here.
Yeah, maybe so.
On the ground. Possibly we have a multi-vortex tornado. And that could be a scary situation because now you're talking about two different areas. You're increasing the area that this could be impacting. Let's go back and look at the debris on this.
Okay. You still see it's kind of minimized there. You can see it a little bit better on our fast track computer. It's kind of, it shows kind of two little areas. Let me show you here real quick what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'll let you see this.
This is right over Collinsville right now. If you're in Collinsville, I hope you're taking your safety precaution right now.
So you can see like right in through here, like there's this whole little minimum area.
Yeah.
So I would say that whole area could be under the gun there.
Yeah. Let's go back to the reflectivity there and just take a better look at that. Yeah, and that's, if
We
you're
still
in this,
got a lot of lightning over here, and we still got that inflow. And there, I think, yeah, like I think you said, we may have either two tornadoes or one kind of large mesocyclone with a couple of vortices rotating around it.
yeah, this call could be just one big area of rotation. It's a little difficult to tell, but at this time, this is all paralleling I-59 and heading off to the northeast. I'm going to check real quick a couple of areas here on social media. So if you want to continue to label a couple of those, we can.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just got a new tracking arrow here on our fast track computer here. We'll go ahead and select that. One of these definitely going to be pressing off towards the north and east, and I would say Portersville right now, right now, you need to be definitely in your safe place because, again, we have this a really large, maybe mesocyclone that's rotating here over the entire southeastern portions of DeKalb County. We'll go ahead and put some streets on here for you because we got a lot of streets being impacted here. The first being I-59. Okay, so out of Portersville, you've got I-59 going back towards Gadsden. So you definitely do not need to be on the interstate right there as well. But then we also have this main east-west highway of 68. Also some rural roads here. We're looking at County Road 30. County Road 30 there as well, and then we have this other circulation, County Road 870, and then closer to the Portersville community. If I'm calling out your street, you need to be, if you're waking up, if the thunder's waking you up, if you have a NOAA weather radio that's waking you up right now, you definitely need to be in your safe place right now. Again, as I'm calling out some of these roads near the Portersville community, Highway 483, County Road 483, County Road 212, and then also Lasky Gap Road and County Highway 22. So again, a lot of these rural roads in the general vicinity of Portersville definitely need to be in their safe place right now. Again, we've got this tornado warning going for DeKalb County. It looks like for another only 2 minutes, but it looks like they're going to probably have to extend that past 1 o'clock because this circulation shows no signs of letting up here. And again, we're continuing to monitor this situation very closely. And again, if you live in Portersville, I definitely want you to be in your safe place as this storm approaches. Again, it's going to be a very slow approach here. And again, and then down the line here, I've zoomed out. We've got Fort Payne. That is the next major metropolitan area involved here. And again, I-59 back towards Fort Payne. Nobody needs to be on that on I-59 as well. And if you are, and if you happen to be listening to us, I know we're probably still simulcasting on Light 96.9. And if you are traveling south out of Fort Payne, we need you to stop right now and just find some sturdy shelter on an exit or a rest area. Again, because this storm is continuing to move off towards the north and east. And again, we are still looking at the possibility of maybe two separate circulations, maybe one just northeast of Crossville and another one right on top of Collinsville right now.